Okay, the next thing we're going to hit on is doing a number one without a name. What I did is I got me some Wonder Under. I have a template, preset template, the same template that we have on our embroidery machine. And I draw a number one on. And if you notice, it says this side up because when you flip it over, then your one will be correct. So always remember to do that. What you're going to do is you're going to trace it on the smooth side, and of course the rough side is going to be the side that you iron down on to the fabric that you're using. In this case, most of all of our number ones just look nicer. We use a felt fabric for our number ones. And so what you're going to do is you're just going to take your Wonder Under over to the iron, and then what you're going to do is you're going to press it down on with the iron. And then once you get it pressed down, you're just going to cut around it. Take some scissors and cut neatly around it. We don't want, a bunch of, because all we're going to do is put this on the sewing machine and do a zigzag around it. So you want to make sure that, it's cut nice and neat. And then the next thing we're going to show you after this is, because this particular bodysuit also gets the fabric suspender. Most of our bodysuits we use the ribbon, but on this one and the ribbon's 7/8. Remember, your ribbon always has to be 7/8. But on this one you have to actually cut fabric to make the suspenders. Okay, now that we're done cutting out the number one, let me go over here. We're going to grab the suspenders that go with this. And this is the fabric suspenders I was telling you about. All of your fabric needs to be 2 inches wide and 15 inches long. And if you notice, when this is cut so the stripe goes vertical. It does not go horizontal. That's very important when you lay your fabric down to cut it, and I will do a tutorial on that for you. Right now we're just going to show you how to apply them to the shirts. What we do, because with fabric, especially when dealing in cotton fabrics and stuff, they tend to move and to stretch. So what we do is we go in first, find your center, because it's very important. If you don't do a center and make sure these are actually folded to the center, they're not going to be the same size, and you're going to be able to see it on the onesie. We apply a small amount of glue, take a glue stick and go down through there. This helps hold the suspenders in place. So now what you're going to do is you're going to actually take those suspenders, you're going to go to the center and iron it down. And the biggest thing too, one little trick that will help you when you're folding over to do the other side, if you will line up your stripes together, you'll pretty much be the same size. But if you notice, we go straight to the center and just iron down, and we're not really overlapping too much, because if you start overlapping, you're going to get your overlapping out of sync, and you might be overlapping more in one place than in another place. Okay, so there's the suspender, nice and neat, nice and even all the way down. This is probably the most hardest for most people. We make it look a little bit easy because we've been doing it for so long. But then you're going to take your tape, and after you get everything, iron to the center, and you are going to iron your tape down. Once you iron your tape down, you do that just like you would if it was a ribbon suspender. Iron. Make sure you got steam on, because ironing and sewing is key. Same scenario, we're going to go to the second one and do the same thing. We are going to find our center. We're going to go down through here with a little bit of glue once this center is found. And like I said, this helps hold it in place. It also helps the stretching, because it kind of, it keeps that fabric from stretching, because fabric, when you lay it down and once you get your tape on it and you iron it on, fabric will move on you. So you know, it takes a little bit more effort to deal with fabric than it does the ribbon. Same thing, we're going to go down, we're going to iron to the center, and you want to make sure you do that with both sides. And like I said, we don't do a lot of overlapping, because if you start doing a bunch of overlapping, what's going to happen, like I said, you're going to end up with one suspender bigger than the other one, or your suspender, that suspender is going to be too narrow. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Once we get the second one done, we can lay them next to each other and show you that the width on them, they're the same. That you don't have one skinny, one wide, and you're ready to go. Let me, before you put that tape on there, since I don't know how to do the tape, let's just lay them, flip this one over so I can show them. See how nice and even those are? You have the same width on both. Now once she gets the tape on this, it's going to look a little bit, you know, flatter. But just remember, if you bring me in a suspender and one is wider than the other one, I'm going to kick it right back to you, because you can see it real clear when you hold up that onesie. Now she's going to apply the second piece of tape, and after she does this, we're going to put everything on the bodysuit. So hang tight and I'll be back.